If you're like me and you've run out of tables for putting your succulents on, or for anything as a matter of fact, then you need to follow me and find out how to make one of these. Nice and easy, you can all do it. Stick with me and I'll take you through the steps. The materials you're going to need are 3 pieces of laminated pine, 600 by 200. A dowel stick cut to the same length as your shelves, which is 600. Some sash cord, which is 7 millimeters in diameter. Sandpaper, which is 100 grit. I'm using some Rust-Oleum paint as a dressing, and I'm using a clear spray, which is going to be the finishing. The tools you're going to need is a drill driver with a 12mm spade bit. You're going to need a combination square. You're going to need a tape measure, a Koki or a marker, a paintbrush and a sponge for your application. An optional extra is to use a clamp, which makes the drilling a whole lot easier. The first thing we're going to need to do is mark where we need to drill, and this is where the combination square comes in really handy. And I'm going 3 centimeters. Pop it on there, and then I do exactly the same on this side here, and where it crosses, there's my mark. That's where I know we're going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there it is. There they all are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can mark each piece of shelving individually, or you can clamp them all together, pop a piece of timber underneath them, make sure they're all on top of each other, and then drill straight through all 3. Remember, we're always using a piece of timber at the bottom so that when we are drilling through, it doesn't drill through onto the table, and it also stops that breakout and splintering on the bottom of your shelves. Get this all nice and squared up, pop your clamp on. Okay guys, all that we need to do now is use the spade bit and get straight through right into the bottom. 4 holes are in, we can remove the clamp. Next step that we've got to do is just take a bit of 100 grit sandpaper, give it a light sanding. That's going to just help, especially for the longevity of your paint. Get rid of any of these burrs, and remember, when you're sanding, always go with the grain. All right, all that I need to do now is just give it a bit of a dust off, clean it up, let's clear the deck, and we can start painting. All right guys, so now we're getting ready for the painting. I've got this weathered wood accelerator. It's a Rust-Oleum product and it works fantastically. You can use this on old timber or on new timber. Remember, it's always in the prep. And here, what we're gonna do is use a sponge to put it on because it's way easier. We're just gonna glide it across with the grain. So guys, as you can see, it's really watery, quite runny. That's why we have something underneath our table. And look what it's doing. Look what it's doing here to the grain and the knots. Look at that. It's just like jumped out. And that is going to give us the finished look that we wanted. So there we go. Paint is dry. We're ready for the next step. And because I'm going to be using these guys for my gardening goodies, of course, I'm going to be using some Rust-Oleum. It's paint in a can. It's so simple. It's a matte clear, seals and protects, and it just helps. All right, so when I'm watering plants and stuff, it's not going to mess up these guys. Hold it about 20 to 30 centimeters away from the shelf, and then try and spray it in equal, even strokes. Repeat exactly what I've done for the other 2, and we're good to go for the next step. Next up is take your cord, pop it onto your table, tape measure on one end of the table, measure out 2 meters, and all we want to do is make 4 lengths 2 meters long. And now we can start assembling our shelves into the right height and length that we want. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off with 1 piece. Keep this nice and easy, folks. Thread it through and make a double knot at the base. So out it comes. Give yourself a bit of space here. Simply round, through, pull your knot as far down to the base as possible, and then pull it nice and tight. There you have it. Pull it through, have a look, and you repeat the process for the other 3 holes. In order to get our shelves as equally apart as possible, you now need to do a bit of measuring. All right, so what I'm going to go with is 30 centimeters between them. So I want you to measure exactly on the cord, and that is where the base of your knot is going to be. The next thing we've got to do is exactly the same as that. We need to make more knots, 1, 2, 3, 4, and remember we've got to end it where we made the mark. So around 1, 2, same as we did earlier. Then guide your knot. Guide it as much as you can. If you see you're far away from the mark, then feed it through a bit more and tighten it up. All right, push your knot down if you're moving a bit further away from it, and there I have it. Okay, nice and easy. Alrighty, you know what the next step is, folks. We've made the 4 knots. Now we thread on our shelf. Stand back because the masterpiece is about to happen. And there we go. See what's happening? Oh, last one to go. Same as before. Measure it out up to 30 centimeters, mark it off. And again, same thing. There's your line, 4 knots. Remember, it's a double knot. 1, 2, slide your knot to as close as that line as possible. When you're there, give it a tug. There we go. Once you've done that, remember, thread through the last shelf. And look at that. I know you're dying to see it, but I've still got one more step before I show you what it's going to look like. So now, same as before, we're going to measure 30 from here, mark it out. All right, instead of tying individual knots, remember, we're joining these 2 together. So get them all. There we go. Get our knot in there. Same as before. 1, 2. Get it down as close as possible to where that line is. Give it a tug. There we have it. And same on the other side. All that's left to do, trim off these bits, neaten it up, and let's go hang it up. Isn't it gorgeous? Hung up with some cup hooks, nice and easy. Ooh, I need to make more. Remember, guys, all of the stuff that I've used is available from your local builders, or you can get it online at builders.co.za. If you've loved this as much as I have, then go and check out our blog and also our YouTube channel so that you can find out more of how to turn yourself into a green-fingered guru. Get to Builders and get it done.